Right now, I'm still wearing my chainmail, and I've been wearing it for maybe an hour, hour and a half now, just wanting to sort of get used to the weight, so I'm just doing normal things like studying for an exam and watching some YouTube videos and stuff to just, just get used to having this extra weight around. And, while taking my study breaks, I'll play around with the mail a bit. And first off, sock absorption. You hear that mail wasn't that good at sock absorption, and I think it's decent at shock absorption. Many people say it has no sock absorption, and that's definitely wrong. So I'm playing around with this, my nice reenactment knife, and it can stop a blow from this fairly effectively. I don't know if I would trust it to stop a sword, but even this, you can bring it down quite hard. And it definitely, this isn't a sharp edge or anything, so to do hurt, it really is just concussion, and I can hit myself sort of as hard as I want, certainly with a hacking motion, and I mean, you still feel it, but and you still feel it a bit more than you would a gambeson, but you definitely feel it less than when I just smacked onto my wrist, which I don't fancy doing again. Same thing with a thrust. I can thrust even into the gut where I don't have a nice strong sternum to help protect me, and it stops the shock absorption pretty well. But again, this is just a knife. Presumably, if you had a nice heavy weapon like a large-headed axe or a mace or even just a big spatha-type sword, I could imagine you still doing a decent amount of harm. But lighter weapons and stuff, I could definitely continue fighting after all those hits from my nice blunt dagger. A pointed thing, thrust, could possibly go through the ring, so I wouldn't actually stab myself at all with a pocket knife or anything. But I feel like I could even be somewhat... just a fly there. Or wasn't a fly? Could have been a bee. Otherwise, some annoying bug I didn't want to... Anyways, yeah, so I wouldn't stab anything just because that's the way chainmail works, but I feel decently confident about, taking hacking damage from at least lighter weapons, from things like knives. And again, early medieval warfare, there would be, a lot of knives. Swords were expensive things, so if you think a nice war axe, a long Saxon knife could be a little bit longer than this, but this is good enough, especially if you're just a skirmisher. So, a knife on, say, a poor Irish warrior, somebody who was primarily expecting to use slings and javelin, just had this just in case. You could have war knives this size, and again, at least taking hacking blows, chainmail on its own, could do rather effectively. Thrusting blows, not so much, just because a sharpened point could, go into the rings, but something a little more rounded could skid off, sort of like this, as if it is a glancing blow. But yes, sock absorption, again, it's definitely not as good as a gambeson. I don't want to imply that, and it definitely would work better if I had a gambeson on. I actually can't get my gambeson on with this. They're both would theoretically fit fine, but the head hole on this can just barely get in, so adding some padding around here, it doesn't work. So I'll have to do some sort of mending on either this or the gambeson if I want to get in properly. Anyways, that's off topic, but yes, it does have a decent amount of shock absorption from chainmail. Certainly a lot more than not wearing chainmail, although not as much as, say, a gambeson would.